Microsoft confirms talks to buy TikTok in the U.S., and they aim to finish a deal by September 15th. September 15th, a key deal because Trump actually put a guideline on there. He said it's got to be done in the next 45 days, I believe. Microsoft's statement on Sunday marked the company's first confirmation of talks it has held to acquire the popular social media app. Microsoft says we're the best for it because we're going to tighten everything. We're going to batten down the hatches on that data.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it right here in the United States of America. Right? I don't know where their servers are, but
Fresh American soil.
somewhere in Washington, just locked down there in a vault. American TikTok data, baby.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is that was being extracted can stay local. Trump doesn't actually sound that excited about it. He sounds, at least the language politically is probably more powerful if he gets to say, ban it. I'm powerful. Ban it. China, national security. It looks better on him, makes him look more powerful. If it's a sale, on the other hand, it might not have the same buzz to it. So I kind of get where he's coming from the wording, just from a political standpoint. Yeah, creating a, what would you say, a real sort of dramatic ban. You know, there's a word ban.
Yeah.
It's got some heat to it. Now, apparently other investors could participate in this acquisition alongside Microsoft, the company said in a statement. You might think it's weird for Microsoft to be involved with a social network. Somebody reminded me they're a part of LinkedIn, and I was like, is LinkedIn a social? I guess it is. It's kind of weird, a weird one, because I know at least in the early days, it was just sort of like
business networking?
A resume, an online resume almost.
Yeah.
But people have increasingly used it for networking, I suppose. Social networking. People put posts now on LinkedIn.
Yep.
In fact, we reported on a post from, I guess it was the VW CEO the other day. He said some nice things about Elon Musk and Tesla, and the story actually broke on LinkedIn, which is unusual to hear, citing a post on LinkedIn. But people do post on LinkedIn as well. I deleted my LinkedIn account a long time ago. I just kept getting all these requests, and couldn't manage it.
There are some social good in LinkedIn, right? It just seems positive every time I'm on it.
Oh, really?
Like it's always
for a guy like you,
something.
you
know, business.
Yeah. You're the only thing coming at you is going to be really positive because they're trying to get Willie Doo's attention.
I mean, yeah,
which
it's working.
Is there you go? It's a very special thing. President Trump said that he opposed the idea of Microsoft buying TikTok and he would move to ban the app in the U.S. However, Microsoft's not going to give up. They're going to keep negotiating. It's a weird negotiation because they have to negotiate with ByteDance, but they also have to, at the same time, negotiate with Trump and the administration and the government.
Yeah, it's weird.
They have to satisfy all these various parties to get the deal done. Now, normally that would happen to a certain extent with any big acquisition. You're going to need certain approvals, but this one even more so because the ban is on the table and the timeline is crazy. Will, you imagine trying to come up with a $50 billion deal in 45 days? It's a lot of elbow touching.
Yeah.
Normally, you got to court that relationship for years. Who knows? Maybe they've been talking in the background here and there prior to this, but this has really expedited the thing. What do you got here, Will?
And they have a lot of competition. Apparently, this app called Triller, it's a social media app. Apparently, it's like #1 right now.
Oh, it's blowing up.
Yeah.
Interesting. In the U.S.?
In the U.S., yeah.
And this is people migrating from TikTok? It's the same idea?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, interesting.
It's like music, short clips.
Well, hey, man, that's a big business right now. If people are apprehensive about TikTok, somebody's going to gobble it up. We know Facebook is trying with their Instagram Reels.
Yeah, so there's competition.
Now, the interesting thing is Microsoft actually has a relationship with Facebook. They're a Facebook investor, not a huge investor, but a Facebook investor. And they work together on the Mixer deal, which when they got rid of Mixer, they sent it to Facebook. So they have an ongoing relationship. And if this acquisition takes place, they could actually be in competition with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Where Facebook has Reels and Instagram and Facebook, and then Microsoft has TikTok. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I saw that Ballmer came out, and he's saying Microsoft is the best bet for this thing. They really have to campaign for this. They have to convince the public, the government, and, of course, ByteDance to make the deal. They're going to bring in other investors to make it a little more affordable to distribute the thing a tiny bit. But I don't know what happens. Honestly, you're asking me to speculate, and I don't know what happens. We have some insight here. We can speculate, obviously. Does Microsoft make sense? Okay, probably, because any of the other players that you could talk about have a play here or are already very powerful. Microsoft seems to have a little bit of space for a business like this. But the question really comes down to how much Trump wants to take a stand on this and what his powers actually are. Because the truth is, well, we have to determine which is the better political story, which has the better political consequence for him.
Yeah.
Is
what
it
he gains out of it?
Yeah, is it the story that I shut down the evil TikTok? I'm the president who shut down evil TikTok and saved America in the war for our data. Or is it an equally cool story to say I moved one of the fastest growing, most popular social media apps from Chinese ownership to American ownership to bring it under the American umbrella?
Which I think is the better way, because then you're forcing younger voters to vote for you in a sense, right? Like, you saved TikTok. I use TikTok. I love TikTok.
Interesting.
Maybe I'll give Trump a shot.
Well,
I don't know.
No, it is cool what you said. And it's probably right.
Or the other way around, where, if you ban TikTok, it's like, hey, I'm not voting for you.
Yeah, but what I think you're talking about is an actual split depending on demographic. I think the better story politically for the older age group is the simpler one. Just, this was an evil app. I'm banning it. Go use Facebook or something else that already exists. But for the younger crowd, it's probably what you said. I saved TikTok. You get to keep, because we all know TikTok skews younger. I think the majority user base is like 18 to 25. Yeah, they can vote. They can absolutely vote, but will they show up to vote? Because the old people do.
Right.
Typically more. So there's a lot of people on TikTok can be irate, but if they don't actually vote, it doesn't really matter that much. So we'll see what happens. But it seems to be a divide on which story is the better one and what he ends up doing. But I agree with you, for the record. People like the app. People use the app. Even if it's not my style or for me, I'd prefer for the option to be there for people to use it.
Yes.
If there's a way to do that. If you can just modify it ever so slightly, get it in the States, get the data in the States. Sure, why would you want to kill it if it's successful? So there's got to be somebody upset with it. I know people watching this are going to be mad. They're going to be saying, no, RIP, rip TikTok, I'm over it. This is what they deserve.
People
Cringe.
like to burn things.
Cringe. I see the comments, right? But to each their own, Will. I'm over here on YouTube. I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that it's an option. I'm not trying to kill everything that everybody does. You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Choice.